How did you get over suicidal thoughts? Serious? Get over them? Not sure I did. Not act on them, because when I would think it through, it always would continue past the act to me being dead. In nearly every scenario it was my little sister finding me and I couldn't do that to her. And then it would go through how bad it would mess her up even if she didn't see anything, and how it would hurt my mom. I never did. Every day is a battle to shut them up, and some days it's really difficult not to end it. What keeps me going is I've been lucky enough to have some really incredible experiences mixed into a not great life. I remind myself that if I'd killed myself in high school, I'd never have gone to Germany or gotten my degree, not that it's hugely useful. If I'd killed myself in college, I'd never have traveled to and lived in China. If I'd gone through with my most recent serious plan in May, I'd have missed out on another country and people there who I love very much. That's really it. That and my cats. Delayed it. Finally decided I was gonna do it and set the date a couple weeks in the future. Arrived at that date and decided I'd give myself one more week. Got to the new date and put it off another couple weeks. Then it was a month. Then a couple months. Kept doing this until life got better and death didn't seem so great anymore. Anytime I start feeling bad again, I go straight back to this method. Okay, I'll give myself a couple weeks and see how things are then. Honestly, I found myself a reason to stay living, how it would affect those living around me. For myself, it was my kids. I thought of how it would affect my wife having to live with me killing myself. It's likely she would have to see my body and have those images engraved in her brain for the rest of her life. This applies to parents, or other close loved one. And it bothered me about how it would affect my children in growing not only without their father, but how the effect on their mother in the outcome of their raising, as well as the knowledge that their father had just opted out. I tried once. Ended up in the worst hospital ward of all time. I was too much of a coward to try again. 4 years later, I'm doing good. Smile, true bravery is facing your inner demons. Friends. I am so lucky to have the friends I've had throughout my life. I still have thoughts, I'm sure I always will, but other people have helped so much. Also, remember that the way you feel isn't weakness, dealing with it shows how strong you are. You stop eating fasting. If after a long period of time you want to eat again, then that means you want to live. Don't let your mental control you. What's important is listening to your body. If your brain wants to die, then starve it until it wants to live again. People these days are not working enough on themselves. It's rare for a person to make a conscious and rational decision to commit suicide. The only occasions where suicide is rational is when you are going to die of cancer anyways, or you are getting old and have nothing planned for retirement. Killing yourself is a good way to retire permanently once you've done everything and have no money left. But yeah, suicidal thoughts are a privilege. Personally, I'm too busy and there is too much things for me to do to even have the time to feel like I wanted to kill myself. I never really did. I have bipolar disorder and I've been more or less suicidal for 9 years. Sometimes the medication works and takes it away, sometimes it doesn't. I'm pretty sure I'll die by suicide and I'm actually okay with that. They call it a permanent solution to a temporary problem, but I'm not sure which of my problems are temporary. Multiple failed attempts, having a baby brother and sister later in life, realizing that all the bad things happening and all the bad things I did weren't the end of the world, they were all super minuscule in comparison to what they could have been. That all helped for the most part. I still have random thoughts when I am really struggling, but becoming a Christian was helpful. God helped bring me out of that. I'm not living for myself but for the glory of something bigger. If you are looking for an easy answer on the internet, you will be disappointed. Everyone has been there and people find their own ways of getting through it. All we can really do is offer what solution we found best, so here I go. Strangely enough, the answer to this question for me came after studying an artificial intelligence course. Knowing a bit about how humans think can go a long way. Everyone has goals, and we use these goals to navigate through life, making decisions to try and achieve the goals we want to achieve. Being depressed is a disorder when you have no goal. If you have no goal, then every possible thing you do is pointless. There really only is one solution. Suicide is a way of escaping this infinity-spanning weighted graph. But there is another answer. Coming up with a goal for your life is the right course of action. It sounds a bit strange, but honestly ask yourself what you want to do with your life. You are never too old, or too young to re-evaluate your goals. The goals you choose could be extremely difficult to achieve, such as becoming president. Or nice simple goals, like getting a degree in psychology. Smile. After you have a goal, split it up into smaller steps, asking yourself, what can I do to get where I want to go? And doing a real breakdown, not a generic apply to colleges. Be more specific, tailor your goals to you. It is your life after all. Come up with backup plans. If you want to get a job as a psychologist or something like that, there may be other routes to get there other than college or university. The world has practically infinite possibilities. Surely there is at least one you can take to get where you want to be. It might not be easy, but who wants an easy life? The best answer to what is the meaning of life is the meaning you give it, nobody else. Some people find this daunting, find it difficult to choose, but really you can always change your path. Out of all the possible things life could mean, you get to choose. That is pretty cool if you ask me. Why give up when there is a state out there that is perfect for you? When everything you are doing is leading you there. After dealing with depression back in high school, one of the best ways to think about it came from Reddit. Don't think about it like a roadmap that ultimately leads to death. Think of it like a movie. The exit is always there if you ever need it. Until then, just try to enjoy the movie. If it ever gets to be too much, you can always walk out, and no one should hold that against you. It's weird, but it helped me. I stopped thinking about life leading to death and started thinking about the ride there. It's not always easy, but so far nothing has made me want to leave my movie. What is this part about get over? I heard a lyric in a Bright Eyes song and it kind of became my mantra. If your thoughts should turn to death, gotta stomp it out, like a cigarette. I think my life was improving at that time as well, but that really became my attitude towards those kinds of thoughts. You just can't even entertain them because it's too easy to get lost in thinking about it, especially when you're depressed. I didn't, but I put Happy Thrasymachus in charge of keeping depressed Thrasymachus safe. Depressed Thrasymachus makes very specific plans for how he would go about killing himself and writes those plans in his journal. Happy Thrasymachus lays support networks in place and gets rid of easy options to sabotage depressed Thrasymachus's plans. And so on. I know I'm always going to want to end my life. I know I'm always going to explore ways to do that. But I know that the part of me that wants to do that is not all of me, and I need to protect the other parts of me. All I do is set up to protect the other parts of me. Honestly, I smoke some weed about it. It makes the negative voices shut up for a little while. Also, I have a very loving family, an amazing girlfriend, and a cat and puppy. So if it's a really bad day, I just focus on how they would be affected by me killing myself. I'm not selfish enough to do that to them. Begin with little exercise, just 1 minute a day. Workout helps a lot. Go for a walk. Have some sun. Do not binge watch TV and mobile. Within 2 days things will start changing. Your mood will begin to uplift. Tried and tested. This will probably get buried at this point, but what the hell? I've gotten out of them somewhat by just taking on more responsibility. I have a car, house, and a decent job, and that makes it feel like I'm making something of myself. Nothing spectacular, but they're mine and I'm proud of that. I still have thoughts every day and I don't think I'll make it to 30, but for right now I'm content and that's enough for me. I didn't think I'd make it to the end of this year, but I'm still here, so there you go.